We're back for some more teleprinter kind of restoration and working on things. Today we're hoping that this section down here, the transmitter unit, that we can maybe get that sort of up and running. We got it mostly stripped down last time. There's a couple of things like these aren't pulling back enough, so maybe some stronger springs on like just here will help matters. So we're going to try that, and that means we can reassemble the keyboard, because you know, the longer we leave all the keys in a heap, then the more likely are we're going to lose one of them. So we should get that built back up again, and then to kind of see if this is working, because like all of this is all mechanical. This feeds into all of these levers here, which make a bunch of contacts kind of, you know, switch between different things, whether it's a mark or a space, and that's what will do the signaling. Now we aren't going to get the motor up and running, which would give us, you know, like lots of power for it, but we can just drive it through by hand. So what we're thinking is there are these 6 contacts here, which is what connects electrically the transmitter unit to the rest of the teleprinter. And so we can, you know, stick some crocodile clips or something on here, feed some power in. Normally this would expect plus and minus 80 volts to do the signaling. So the kind of mark and space, or 1 and 0, are plus and minus 80 volts, and and that, well, you know, it's quite high voltage to be playing around with, and given that we're not trying to talk to another teleprinter at the moment, we can probably get away with a lot less than that. And Paul, who's working on it as well today, he's got a plus and minus 5 volt supply, so he's just gone to go and grab that. We're going to try hooking that up to it to provide the voltages, and then probably get some LEDs or something to be able to detect whether we're getting plus or minus 5 volts out of it as we go through the sequence. So yeah, fingers crossed we might have some blinking lights, which is not very 1940s teleprinter, but it will let us see what's going on, and hopefully move things forwards on how we're going to interface with this, give us some more stuff to think about. So we'll report more as the day progresses. Right, quick update before lunch, because we've made a bit of progress. So I said that I was going to look at the springs, so I've replaced 2 of these springs, and it didn't actually make enough of a difference, and so we thought maybe it was this bit here, that if we could kind of, you know, change that very slightly, that would mean that it all dropped and started to work properly. So we did a bit of investigation of that, but there isn't actually anything stopping that from, like, that's not, there's a cam that makes it move up and down, but that's the only thing that changes that. So I don't know if you can see here, or if I can see, but I've got a super short spring, or not super short, but, you know, shortened a bit more to make this spring kind of add some more tension to it, which is seeming to do the trick at the moment. So we've kind of got that operation working, and in the meantime, Paul has been looking at this box of tricks, and like, you know, sort of there's those 6 contacts on the back, and they kind of map through into here, and kind of he's going to just do a quick explanation of what's going on. He's got this awesome diagram and everything, but I'm mostly going to try and follow him with the camera when he's pointing at stuff, so you can follow along.
Yeah, so we've worked out the top bit is the bit that switches between send and receive, and the bottom bit, these 2 contacts and that, are the bit that switches within a single character the elements, the mark and space elements. For the D letter, which is the only key in the keyboard at the moment, the Who Are You key, also known as the Who Are You key.
That's just the best key.
Yeah, it has a special name. It's so good. Using the book's convention, the D key should be a space mark, space mark, space mark. The 5 bits in between are unique to the key, and the bit at the start and the end are required as start and end bits. So we can run through a single key press by making contact with the multimeter.
So that's set on the continuity thing, so when there's a circuit it makes a beep. When there isn't a circuit it doesn't make a beep.
Yes, that's...
So hopefully you can hear that beeping on the video. And yeah. So the next thing we're going to do is, yeah, let's run through a key press and listen to the Bordeaux code. Yeah. So we're going to have to crank it by hand. So is this on, yeah, is that on space? So it sits in mark at the moment, like I was going down to look at the diagram. So
let's just switch them up.
So that's mark is what it's on at the minute. If we look at the contacts. So now if I press the D key, and we should get, there we go. So that's the first. So this is, I guess, yeah, if you want to point at
the space.
Space, and then we should get a mark.
Mark should be next.
So, so as we carry round, sorry.
Yeah, we can confirm with the levers here. As the mark should be a down, and the space that stays up. Mark down. Space stays up. Stays up. It goes down and makes a mark, and stays up. And back to mark, which is the stop.
The stop bit, yeah. So there we go. We've had a successful BP kind of, I suppose it's almost Morse code-ish. It's not at all, is it? Because that would be longer and shorter. But anyway, it's, yeah, we've worked out the wiring, and let me just flip that around so we can, wiring's worked out, and springs, we need to work on, probably make that fix a bit permanent, and then reassemble things, and we can try some different keys, not just the Who Are You key, and see if they all work properly. So but first, time for some lunch, I think. Okay, we've had some lunch and we've been doing some reassembly. We haven't got all of the keys on, because we wanted to do a bit more like experimentation with some more keys on, mostly because the D key was working quite well with this shortened, slightly stronger spring, but that's only going to work if that bit would also mean that the first bit worked properly, which is a bit odd, but yeah, that's why we wanted to reassemble it, so we can try some other keys as well. And we've got most of them assembled. We've left a bit of space over here, so we've got some room to get at the springs and kind of tweak things. So it means we, as well as the keys getting put on, these two bars have been put on because they kind of hold the keys in place. And so now, the keyboard seems to be working quite nicely. Some of the keys, like the H key, doesn't it's come back up a bit now. So yeah, we might need to tweak things a little bit more. And we have we've got a couple of crocodile clips onto two of the terminals at the back, and they then go to the probes for the multimeter, which is doing the kind of beeping thing we were trying earlier. It's beeping when there's a space rather than a mark, just because the kind of idle state that it gets to now is to have mark set, and so it would be beeping at us all the time. So yeah, we've gone with beeping on space because that happens less often and it's going to annoy us less. That's going to let us try some different keys out, to try some stuff. And Paul has the contacts that we have in here, so I don't know how well you can see, but just kind of there, these contacts, and the contacts kind of just behind it. The thing gets toggled between the two states. That, yeah, could do with a bit of a clean. And Paul has some aluminium foil, which he's going to explain why that's useful.
So the idea is that the foil has the oxide layer on the surface that just gently cleans the contact. I'm gonna say thanks to Albert G3ZHE for the suggestion many years ago for cleaning Morse key contacts.
So there you go, it's an old radio amateur kind of top tip for cleaning stuff. So we're going to try it with the R key, because the R key is really nice, because that is, I can't remember whether it's mark space. Let me see if I can work out from this. I think it's going to be, yes, space mark space mark space. And basically, so it's like, you know, on off with the bits. So that's going to make the contacts go side to side, kind of as much as they will. So if I do that, and then Paul's going to hold the foil in, and yeah, hand the camera over to you, Paul, to do that, to see if we can pick any of that up. There might be additional beeps, because obviously the foil is going to make an electrical contact between the contacts as well, so it's probably not going to beep the way that it's supposed to whilst we're cleaning the contacts. So another one. So brought some dirt off the contacts, clean them up a bit.
Not as much as it did before the first time, but just a bit.
That's possibly because it's cleaner now. So it's been a productive day in the end, and we've got well, a reassembled transmitter unit, all kind of fully put back together, all of the keys on it, end kind of cover over the auto answer. Yeah, the nice kind of felt backed sort of front panel. Mostly what we've needed to do is just get the tension set right on these springs. Like, I think each one we just took about 5 or 6 turns off it. Yeah, we've got it hooked up to 2 of the 2 multimeters, so we can do mark and space. Hopefully they're coming out slightly different tones. The space is the kind of the loud one, and the mark is the quiet one. So we're just going to run through a quick test to just see, yeah, demonstrate that we've got the kind of wiring sorted, and the we've got the wiring sorted and all of the keys. Yeah, a couple of them are a little bit sticky, but for now, yeah, it's kind of good enough to go. So I'll just hook this up to the sort of tripod to mount it, and then we'll run through a little test message. Are we ready? Start the motor, or Paul as it's also known. there we go. Quick demo of it working. Next step will be the receiver. Join us for the next video for that.